Most businesses are still creating content for a social media world that no longer exists. So if your content strategy hasn't evolved in the last 2 years, you're missing the biggest opportunity in social media right now. Even just a couple of years ago, you could post content for your followers, spend time designing the perfect grid, and it made sense to have a polished brand image across all of the different platforms. But today, the only thing that the algorithm cares about is performance. Period. This means that every new piece of content you post is a brand new opportunity to blow up your business and puts everyone on an equal playing field. And with these new algorithms deciding who sees your content, how far it spreads, and even predicting performance before you hit publish, the old follower-first approach isn't just outdated, it's pretty much useless. And this is why the businesses winning today are already adapting. They're using AI to boost creativity, run cheap experiments, and turn short bursts of attention into real revenue, and they're doing it fast. That's why in this video, I'm going to share with you why the old growth model collapsed and what replaced it. How to build an AI-powered discovery process designed for the new social media algorithms. How to find and scale repeatable formats faster than your competitors, and how to layer monetization so every like and comment and view has a clear path to revenue. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact system the top brands and businesses are using right now to grow faster than ever before. And it works whether you have 100 followers or 100,000 or 100 million. Yeah, it just works. 5 years ago, social media was relatively simple. You'd build a following, you'd make regular posts, and it was safe to say that most of your followers would see your content. In other words, more followers meant more reach. But that model is gone. And today, reach comes from something called a content graph or an interest graph and not a follower graph. How it works is that when you post a piece of content, that post is shown to a small test audience first. If that small test audience engages with your content, then the algorithm expands distribution, starts to show it to more other people. If on the other hand, that small test audience doesn't seem that interested, then that post just dies, and it does this no matter how many followers you have. Where people, and business owners in particular, are getting hurt though, is that most businesses still act like we're in what I call the gallery era of social media, where content is treated as this kind of slow and polished and meticulously curated art exhibit. But this gallery era has been replaced by a street market, something that's loud and crowded and moving fast, and the stalls that win aren't the prettiest, they're just the ones that grab attention immediately and then adapt to what's going on around them, and doing this all without hesitation. For example, a specialty coffee roaster I worked with had this exact same problem. Their social media feeds looked like something straight out of a magazine. I mean, they had gorgeous images and beautiful on-brand colors and fonts and pretty people drinking pretty-looking drinks. But, and this is a big but, they had pretty much zero engagement. So we swapped the overproduced media for some quick and dirty behind-the-scenes clips of beans roasting and orders being packed and friendly casual banter between staff, and sure enough, within just a couple weeks, the algorithm picked them up and started showing their stuff to completely new people and expanded their reach significantly. Back in the old days of even just a couple of years ago, in the follower-first world we used to live in, your job was to keep your existing fans engaged. But today, in this feed-first world, your job is to stop strangers mid-scroll. And that, my friend, requires speed and volume and, above all, a certain willingness to post without waiting for perfection. The gallery era of social media is dead. Long live the gallery. Today, if you want to win, you need to think like a graffiti artist. Unlike gallery artists, graffiti artists don't wait for an invitation or an opening reception. They move fast, they get the message up, and then they vanish to hit the next wall or train car or unsuspecting billboard, or really anything that'll sit still long enough. I don't know, that was never really my scene. Speed isn't optional here. In the time it takes to storyboard and approve and launch one campaign, a faster moving competitor can post 10 variations and find the winner and then scale it up. So by the time you eventually unveil your masterpiece, they've already claimed the best walls in town, and you're left trying to make your mark on a Wendy's that's already halfway painted over with an ad for a $1.99 Frosty. I do like Frosties. The good news here, dare I say great news here, is that even a small business or brand or creator with no following at all can now beat an established giant if their content connects faster and stronger. But as important as speed is, speed alone won't save you, because now there's a hidden judge deciding who gets seen and who doesn't, and it's not even human. To really drive this point home, it's important to note that the old school gallery approach doesn't just struggle in today's feed-first environment, it actually works against you. This is because the algorithms decide in real time whether to push your content further or whether to just completely shut it down, which means that the more versions you test, the more chances you have to win. And lucky for us, AI makes this not just possible, but actually doable. For example, in the past, creating multiple versions of a piece of content meant multiple more hours of writing and editing and designing and whatever. But now, you can do this in minutes, sometimes even seconds. One short video, for example, can become 10 hooks for different audiences, multiple vertical edits, captions for each platform, alternate cuts emphasizing different benefits, and translations for new markets.
今日はアダム・エアハートです。中国語は忘れません。
Or do I? Each version gets published, the best performers get scaled up, and the poor performers get shut down. And all of this happens about as close to immediately as you can imagine. To give you a real-life personal example, I launched a simple ad campaign just a couple weeks ago. I wrote an ad that I thought was half decent, found an image to go along with it, and then I turned it over to AI to help me scale it up. The AI came back with dozens of great ideas. I picked a few to test, and a couple of them went on to get thousands of clicks at 9 cents per click, which in the digital marketing world is basically bananas. Now, at least in this case, AI didn't necessarily make the content better, but what it did do was make this high volume testing totally possible without burning me out. Actually, technically, it did make the content better too, as I wasn't getting 9-cent leads before AI joined the party. Anyway, the point here is that this is why the mindset matters just as much as the tool. Because when you launch just one single high effort campaign, you're emotionally invested in its success. If it fails, feels like a total loss. But when you run multiple variations, you expect some to fail. And it's that feedback and that data that then goes on to feed the next round of iterations. Here's how to do it step by step. I'll give you an acronym to help make this super easy to remember. Just rolls right off the tongue. So here's what each letter means. 1, S. Start with one strong idea, launch, a story, and insight. 2, G. Generate multiple variations. These are hooks or edits or captions. 3, T. Test quickly. Post within a short time frame, ideally publishing everything at the same time, which is gonna way cut down and minimize variability. 4, M. Measure results. Look at metrics like CTR, which stands for click-through rate, so you can see how many people clicked it, as well as things like cost per lead if you're tracking that, which you should be. 5, S. Scale the winners. Take what worked and spread it around. Post it on other platforms, post it in other formats, and show it to other audiences. Now sure, not every hit will go viral everywhere, but a lot of them will. The beauty here is that it's not about guessing what's going to work. This is about actually definitively finding out what will work and doing it fast, like in days, not months. Of course, posting faster is pointless if you can't handle the attention that comes with it. So that's where this next tool comes in. So let me show you one tool that makes it a whole lot easier to execute this graffiti style strategy. ManyChat. Approved by Meta, ManyChat is the leading automation platform for Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and WhatsApp. It turns every comment, DM, or story mention into an instant sales opportunity by sending automated, personalized replies in real time. Imagine you post a video that hits big. Instead of manually replying to hundreds of people asking for more info, ManyChat can DM them a link, sign them up for a free resource, or even book them straight into your calendar, all without you touching a keyboard. It's like adding a full-time sales assistant to your content team who works 24/7, never takes breaks, and never forgets to follow up. This is exactly how you turn spikes of attention into leads and sales before the buzz dies down. If you want to turn every post into a direct conversation with potential customers, check out ManyChat using the link below and get 30 days of ManyChat Pro for free. Now, all that said, all the speed in the world won't matter if you don't understand the system that's actually distributing your content. And that's where the algorithm flip comes in, and why it's the most important shift that you can master today. As we talked about at the beginning, this algorithm flip means you're no longer making content mainly for people who already know you. You're now making content that's there to earn the attention of people who don't know you. Some people call them strangers, I call them friends in waiting, which makes it sound kind of creepy. That's a challenge because loyalty doesn't guarantee visibility anymore. But the good news is that this is a new and completely untapped opportunity because small accounts can now compete with much bigger ones if their content performs. Now here's the deal. The platforms already use AI to evaluate your posts. They scan visuals, they transcribe audio, they read captions, and they analyze pacing, and those signals are then compared to top performing content. If your post matches the patterns, it's more likely to get pushed. Let me say that again because it's really, really important. If your content looks and sounds and feels like the top performing content on the platform, the algorithm is far more likely to push it. And you can use AI to reverse engineer this before you ever hit publish. All you have to do is ask. For example, you can use tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or Claude to check your opening seconds. For example, you could upload your video or your script and then ask the AI questions like, is my hook clear and attention grabbing in under 3 seconds? Or would my target market immediately understand what this is about and want to keep watching? Powerful stuff. You can also use it to brainstorm stronger hooks by sharing your topic and then asking it, give me 10 hook ideas similar to the top performing videos in my niche, or write 5 alternative openings that would make this more curiosity driven. Powerful too. It can also help you tighten up your captions. All you need to do is just paste your captions and then ask, make this shorter and easier to read on a phone screen, or rewrite this so it gets to the point faster while keeping the main idea. And it can help you improve pacing. Just give the AI your transcript and then ask, where could I cut or speed up so viewers don't drop off? Or identify any slow sections that might cause people to lose interest. This isn't just theory either. Just a couple days ago, I was mentoring some kids who started a YouTube channel. Now, they're just kids, so to protect their identities, I'll change their names to Bob and Bob 2. Anyway, one of the first things we did was download and transcribe their top performing videos. From there, we had AI analyze them based on basically everything I just told you. And then, well, it was really as easy as just remaking those top performing videos with these new suggestions in mind. And the results were a literal 100x jump in views, subscribers, watch time, everything. But there are 2 important rules to follow here. Rule number 1, your hook matters more than your history. Or as Tony Robbins might say, your past does not equal your future. What this means is that even if everything you've posted up until now has, what's the nice way of saying this, underperformed, well, none of that matters, as all it takes is one great post to completely change the game for you. Rule number 2, consistency comes from process, not luck. So while there's never any guarantee of going viral, there are ingredients or frameworks or traits that are shared by some of the most popular and wide-reaching content online. But we covered a lot of that with your hook and pacing and all that stuff. So now the next thing for you to do is start testing. AI can get you in front of new audiences, but there is a trap. If every post is a one-off, start from scratch, reinvent the wheel thing, you're gonna be starting from scratch every time. The fastest growers don't reinvent the wheel, they find formats that hit, then they run them on repeat, just like Bob and Bob 2, the YouTube kids did. All right, let's unpack that a little more. One of the most common mistakes that entrepreneurs make with social media is chasing originality instead of repeatability. The result is this feed full of unrelated experiments that never get refined because they're only ever tried once. High-performing creators and high-performing businesses, on the other hand, they do the opposite. They find repeatable formats. These are content structures that consistently engage their audience and that work with the algorithm. Then, once a format works, they refine it and rerun it. What's a good example here? Think late night television. The host doesn't invent a brand new format every night. They just follow a proven structure, like an opening monologue. There's probably an interview, a recurring comedy segment. Anyway, the viewers know exactly what to expect, and the team knows exactly how to deliver it. In social media, repeatable formats give you a framework to test ideas without having to start from scratch. They also make it easier to scale because you're building on what you already know works. So here's the process. Step 1, test small and fast. Start with one core idea, some insight, a tip, or product demo. Use AI to create variations with different hooks and lengths and angles, and then publish quickly and watch for anything that gets traction. Step 2, measure performance. Don't just count the overall views. You want to look at completion rates and saves and comments and replays, as these show a deeper level of engagement. Step 3, refine the winner. If one version outperforms, you want to make small adjustments and then post it again. You could shorten it or strengthen the hook, or you could tweak the call to action. Step 4, package it as a series. Once a format works, you want to brand it, give it a name, a distinct visual style, and a clear promise for the audience. Step 5, scale across platforms. Once you've got a winner, you want to run the format on multiple channels, but you want to adapt for each one. So a 60-second tip might thrive on TikTok, while a 3-minute version does better on LinkedIn. I worked with a B2B software company that tested 5 short-form video ideas. Now, 4 were kind of average. 1, this rapid-fire common mistake series, doubled engagement. So we refined it and branded it and ran it twice a week. Within 2 months, it drove over half their inbound leads just from organic content. Oh, repeatable formats also reduce stress, which is nice. You don't need to think of a brand new idea every single day. You just think of the next new entry in a format that you already know works. This keeps your pipeline full and your schedule consistent, so you're not missing days or missing weeks or scrambling last minute. Important note here though, the goal isn't to find one perfect format and then just run it forever. It's to have several different formats in rotation. That way, you spread the risk, you avoid fatigue, and you can test new ideas without abandoning proven ones. So, once you've got formats that win, the next question then is, where do they live? After all, if you put everything, all these different ideas and different formats and different tests, and you just dump them all on one channel, you're going to confuse the algorithm and you're going to confuse your audience. So that's where channel strategy comes into play. In the gallery era model, brands dumped everything onto one main account. These are product launches, tips, behind the scenes, all in one feed. And that worked when reach came from followers. But now, as you know, discovery is post-driven, and the algorithm judges each post on its own. Algorithm judges, that was a bit of a tongue twister. So, when you mix all these different formats into one feed, you confuse the viewer and the algorithm. After all, the different audiences want different things, and a single channel can't serve them all equally well. The fix then is something called a multi-channel strategy. I appreciate it sounds super duper fancy, but it's really simple. Instead of one all-purpose social media account, you run several smaller focused ones. Each one has got a clear format, a different target audience, and a focused purpose, but they all feed into your overall brand. For example, a health supplement brand might run a main account with polished product stories and updates, a tips account with daily quick health insights, a testimonials account with customer success stories, and a founder account with behind the scenes and personal takes. And doing it this way, spreading things apart, breaking them down, having these smaller accounts, well, it creates 4 different distinct advantages. First is precision. Each channel speaks directly to its audience, which means you're able to create laser-focused content that you know your customers are interested in. Next, signal clarity. If engagement ever drops on one of these smaller platforms, you're gonna know why. And it's likely because of what you're saying, not how you're saying it or where you're saying it, as you're not mixing different formats or different placements. Third is scalability. Proven formats can be spun into dedicated channels without crowding the main account. And fourth, for all my risk-averse friends out there, lower stakes. These smaller, separate accounts are sandboxes, testing grounds, with lower stakes and lower risks to the main account. So you can, and you should, get creative. Now, important note here. If you're just getting started, then please understand that you do not need to have multiple accounts and launch them all at once. Just start with one, your main one, and start testing different formats there. Then, when a format consistently performs, you can spin it into its own channel. The trick is to keep testing new formats on your main account, and over time, you're gonna have this portfolio of feeds that all funnel into your sales process. Now, if this sounds like an absolute ton of work, don't worry. A few years ago, doing all of this would have been a complete nightmare, or cost thousands of dollars a day. But now, AI makes it just so much easier. It can take a winning post from one platform and then reformat it for another. It can write captions that fit each platform's style, and it can track the results so you can see which posts bring in the best traffic. But here's another thing. Reach without revenue is just a vanity metric. So once you've got the attention, you need a system to turn that attention into paying customers. So next, let me show you how to take all of that attention and turn it into actual revenue, because you can't feed your kids with likes. Attention is valuable, but it's not revenue. And far too many businesses treat views and likes and followers as the end goal. To turn attention into revenue, you need a monetization layer, something that's clear and has an intentional path that guides viewers from discovering who you are and what you're about to purchase. Now, I want you to think of it in 3 stages. First is top of funnel. This is discovery. These are short form videos or posts or stories that earn attention from strangers. The goal here is curiosity and trust, not an immediate sale. Then there's mid funnel. Here you want to nurture. Once someone's interested, give them a reason to stick around. These are longer videos or emails or case studies or anything that connects your product or your service to their needs. Most businesses skip this part, but more on that in just a second. Then you got bottom of funnel. This is for conversion. This is where you make clear, direct offers. Could be a product pitch, a consultation, or a limited time promotion. But whatever it is, the goal is to encourage action. Okay, so an important point here, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago, most brands unfortunately skip the mid-funnel nurture part, jumping straight from, you've never heard of me before, to buy my stuff. Kind of like meeting someone at a networking event and pitching a partnership before even learning their name. Or asking someone to marry you on the very first date. I mean, it's weird. It's kind of creepy. Certainly not very effective. Now, the good news here is that your monetization layer does not need to be complex to work. It just needs to exist. A newsletter, a webinar, a free trial, a waitlist, whatever. As long as every piece of content has a clear next step, it will deliver you more customers and more sales. And of course, AI makes this easier by segmenting audiences and recommending next steps and personalizing follow-up, so each viewer gets the most relevant offer, which only further raises your conversion rates without adding any extra manual effort. This is why the most effective businesses treat their content like part of a sales engine. The goal isn't just to entertain or to educate, it's to move people towards becoming customers. And with a monetization layer in place, every post contributes to business growth. The best news of all here, though, is that you don't need to piece any of these things together on your own. I've already packaged up the entire system for you. The same one that I use in my business and with all of my clients and my students to grow faster on social media. When you click the free course link down in the descriptions below, you'll get instant access to my full AI-powered marketing framework, the plug-and-play content templates, ready-to-use scripts, and step-by-step checklists, plus the exact tools I use to run it all. No guesswork, no tech headaches, just a proven system that you can start using right away to create content that gets discovered, scales across platforms, and actually drives revenue. So go ahead, click or tap the link below, tell me where to send it, and I'll get you set up immediately. And if you want to see how to put this strategy into action for real results, real fast, you may want to check out the video I've got linked up right here, where I'm going to walk you through some of my most proven and profitable marketing strategies to help you grow your business. So feel free to tap or click that now, and I'll see you in there in just a second.